Now students, we discussed lots about the eligibility of UGC NET and what kind of paper come in UGC NET exam. I already told you about in UGC NET exam, we have three papers, paper number 1, paper 2 and paper 3. Now paper 2 and paper 3 I already told you that these paper are optional paper. Optional means people have means a master degree in it, then you have to take that particular paper in paper 2 and paper 3. But in paper number 1, it is a compulsory paper and each and every people have to go through the same paper. And paper number 1, in paper number 1, we have 4 sets and from these 4 sets, one of the paper is given to you. And in paper number 1, I already told you about the total number of the questions in paper number 1 is 60 questions and we have to attempt only 50 questions. Okay, first 50 questions have to be checked by the UGC NET people. So CBSE paper, because this paper is conducted by the CBSE. In paper number 1, we have 60 questions and in this lecture or in this video, I will tell you about what kind of questions come in this question in this paper number 1, because in this paper number 1 ultimately we have the vertical division, and this vertical division of the part of 8 parts, and each and every part has some questions, and these questions are very simple, but all those people who are from non-technical background face lots of problem in doing all these questions. But these people don't worry about all these questions, because I will tell you in what approach you have to attempt all these questions. Okay, now in paper number 1 we have 8 parts, 1, 2 up to 8 parts, and these parts are very easy part. Okay, now first part I will tell you in individual's lecture what kind of question come in this part. Okay, now in part number 1 we have ICT, means information and communication technology. So now this part is very difficult for the non-technical people, but believe me, this part is the most easiest part or most simple thing, because in this question we have in this part we have 6 questions, and these 6 questions are very easy. Okay, now so information, communication and technology part contain 6 questions. Second part is communications part, and in this part we have 6 questions. I will tell you about all this part individually and what kind of questions come in all this part, okay, in separate videos. Now third part is general studies part. Now in general studies part we have lots of variety of questions. First part is our environment and environmental part. In the environment part we have somewhere around 5 to 6 questions comes from this environment part, and rest of the questions, 6 questions maybe come in from current affair part and also from the Indian polity part. Okay, now next part is fourth part is research methodology part. On this part contain 6 questions. Students, almost all the people who have done their master degree study this part, research methodology part, because ultimately this part because we are preparing for the assistant professor or lectureship or maybe JRF, and ultimately we have to go through maybe many of you have the plan to go to the PhD, and in the PhD part, this part is play a very crucial role, because I am a research scholar and this part is very important, because whenever we write any journals or maybe any paper, we have to go through this part, and without this we are not supposed to come into the research part. Okay, so this part contains 6 questions, and these questions are very important. Okay, because all these questions are very important, no doubt. Okay, now next part is mathematics and reasoning part, and this part contains almost 12 questions. Okay, now students, believe me, this part is very easy, mathematics and reasoning part, because you don't go through the difficult part, because in many times I saw that lots of people try to solve the question which are which come in banking exam. Okay, now in the banking part, banking exam or maybe your SSC exam, mathematics is very difficult, but for this part you don't go through all this type of question. You have to go through only the very simple question that I will tell you about the pattern also. Now next part is passage or your reading comprehension or maybe whatever you are saying, and this part comes in because I already told you about the pattern, paper pattern, because in this paper number 1 we have 2 languages, English or Hindi, so you have to choose any one of them. It doesn't matter because ultimately we have to tick your answer, so it doesn't matter whether you are going, whether you are opt for Hindi language or English language, and this part contain almost 6 questions. Okay? Now next part, teaching aptitude part, and this part contain 6 questions also. And next last part, which is very important and lots of people face lots of trouble or lots of difficulty in this part, which is data interpretation part, and this part contain 6 questions. Okay. Now students, we have 8 part, and 8 from this 8 part we have 60 questions. 6, 12, 24, 24 and 6, 30 and 12, 42, 48, 54 and 60. Okay. Now students, we have 60 questions. Believe me, all these questions are very easy, and if you people score good marks in this paper, I don't think you will face any trouble in qualifying in this exam. Okay students, so believe me, this 60 questions have the marks of 100 marks, and please try to score as much as mark you can, because this part is very easy, because and in lots of time, because I score lots of time, at least 80 to 90 marks in this part. Okay, because in I remember somewhere around 2014 I did this paper also. In this paper I score somewhere around 88 marks. So believe me, 88 marks, and each marks contain having the of 2 marks. So I think it's somewhere around 44 questions. So I corrected somewhere around 44 questions in this paper. So students, believe me, this is very easy part, and I don't think you will face any trouble, and I will definitely tell you about the pattern, exam pattern also, and I will tell you about what kind of questions comes in this exam, and so you people don't believe me, you don't face any trouble in this part. Okay, so in the next part I will tell you about all this part individually, and how many questions come in this course, in this part, and what way you have to attempt all these questions. Okay students, so in the next video I will tell you all this part individually. Okay students, okay.